right, here with Avery, and you created a little bit of a buzz a few months ago when you said you dropped about 40 pounds.
I did.
Yeah, how'd that happen and how do you feel?
I feel great. I think a lot of it was contributed to an injury that I had. I had a groin surgery, so I wasn't able to do a lot, but unfortunately I started the season out a little heavier than I, not only expected, but than I wanted to be. And now I'm in a healthy place, mentally and physically, and I just feel great.
At what point did you say, all right, I've got to make a U-turn, got to get my body right, got to stop eating the ice cream sandwiches or whatever it was?
Yeah, I don't think it was more so what I was eating. It just, my body wasn't used to not being able to work out how, I usually do. And, it was a lot of discipline that, I had to, guidelines that I had to follow by during the year. I was the one after practice having to get on the bike and, learning that being a routine for me, it was hard mentally, especially because I'm a guy that usually comes in shape. But I feel like it gave me a different discipline that I was able to apply to my game and to myself. And ultimately, it's going to make me the player that I want to be and make sure I never get back, make sure I'm never in that place again.
Yeah, was there ever a point where you said, wow, this is tough, with the injury and that type of thing?
Yeah, there was a time when I saw my body fat and I was like, wow.
What was it?
I was tired after games. I didn't feel as athletic and explosive. My body fat was 12%. And I'm usually at the 3-4%, to put it in perspective for you. So I was a little disappointed in myself, but I'm always a guy that, I look in the mirror and I can challenge myself. And, I don't really care what anyone else says. I'm always, the person that judges me and only care what my family thinks about me. And so my family pushed me and helped motivate me. And I was able to get myself back in shape and mentally and physically once I got to Memphis. And now I feel better than ever to start this year.
My body fat's usually about 20%, so I'm still okay with you being at 12 back then. The Lakers, a lot of new faces, 9 new guys in this franchise. What's your role going to be?
I don't know. I think that's a better question for the coach. But I do know, I bring that defensive mentality each and every night, and I'm a guy that takes no nights off, no possessions off. And so whatever opportunity, whatever my goals are, that goals that the coach has for me, I'm going to make sure I fulfill those and to the highest ability every single night and make sure that I'm ready to play. I think that's the key. We're going to need all these guys. Like you said, we have 9 new guys that we're going to have to create our own culture here, and guys are going to have to buy in and sacrifice. That's what it takes to be a good team, and as long as we understand that, I feel like we can have a great season.
You played on some pretty special teams. What made you choose the Lakers?
I think it came down to me and my wife. I wanted to challenge myself, and playing with the best of the best, I feel like you don't have time for mistakes. I learned that earlier in my career, playing with KG, Shaq, Paul Pierce, just to name a few, Kevin Garnett. Every single time you stepped on the floor, you have to be on your A game. There wasn't times you could come into practice and be half prepared. And I wanted to put myself back in that environment, make sure that I'm always on my A game, and make sure I'm pushing myself to be the best person and the best basketball player I can be.
How about playing with LeBron and Anthony Davis? Again, you play with some pretty good players in your career. How about these guys?
I'm excited to play with these guys. LeBron is the best player for me to ever play the game of basketball. It's my opinion, but I do admire everything that he brings to the game, his preparation. Being with him the last few days, I really admire everything about him as a person and as a basketball player. And Anthony Davis, he's just special. He's going to go down for one of the best power forwards to ever play the game, and I'm happy that I get a chance to play with him. Like I said, learn from him on the basketball court and off the basketball court, because there's a lot of routines that they have that I feel like I can add to my routine and make me a better person and a better player.
Yeah, with those guys, there's going to be some pretty good spacing on the court. You going to shoot some threes?
Yeah, I think it's going to simplify the game for me. Like earlier in my career, learning how to play off the Paul Pierces and the Ray Allens, I feel like that's what helped my game reach, it's the highest level, and I was able to be consistent every single night and bring that defensive mentality, which is my number one skill.
Chris McGee and I have to get on your program. We're going to lose some weight too. Always good talking to you, Avery.
Yeah, you guys can call me up. I can help you guys out.
Done deal. Thanks for
Thank
the time.
you.